So we last left off with our entire family getting murdered horribly due to anime betrayals by Owl Howe. We are now at Ostagar on our way to become a Grey Warden. And we need to go find Alistair.
Hail, you must be the Grey Warden recruit that Duncan brought.
Sure. Also, Ostagar's just kind of laggy. Frame rate issues are a game problem, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. This won't take too long anyway. I don't think. So over there we got. I hear arguments. Okay, over here we got Templars, guarding mages doing mage stuff.
I'm sorry, but the mages must not be interrupted.
I don't know what they're actually doing. But let's walk around, hang out, talk to people.
Stand here in this hour, good folk of Ferelden, and we contemplate the death that may await. Death is no failure, my friends. Should it find you, you will not have failed your king. You will have served your maker. Die in this battle, and when you stand before the Maker in the land beyond the Fade, he shall not find you wanting. Go not into death gladly, but with the knowledge that evil has been held at bay by your spilled blood. And if you go to stand beside the Maker, go with our blessing, for you shall not be forgotten. My friends, let us bow our heads and remember those who have fallen and those who have yet to fall.
Well, that's kind of defeatist of you. Win.
Greetings, young lady. You are Duncan's newest recruit, are you not? He's not a man easily impressed. You should be proud. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king.
Pleased to meet you. I am Audelia.
Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact.
We'll be fighting beside the king?
Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp.
Do you know much about Darkspawn?
Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example?
Yes, I read all about it in the books at the Church of Andraste. I know Fate is where you go when you dream.
Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
I've heard that. Didn't something bad happen there?
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says.
I've heard that story before.
It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now.
At least it's something to ponder.
Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Your codex. Win. In the Fade. Oh, I hate the Fade in this game. Alistair is up here. Yes. What's going on over here?
What is it now? Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
You can't have children, Alistair.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get
You're
out
Grey
of my
Warden.
way, fool.
Super rare.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
You are a very strange man. But I know exactly what you mean.
It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage?
Would that make your day worse?
Hardly. I just like to know my chances of being turned into a toad at any given moment. Wait, I do know who you are. You're Duncan's new recruit. From Highever. I should have recognized you right away. I apologize.
How would you have recognized me? Did he show you a picture? Did he text you ahead of time? How could you recognize me?
Duncan sent word. He spoke quite highly of you. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Alistair, the new Grey Warden. Though I guess you knew that. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining.
Pleased to meet you. My name's Audelia.
Right, that was the name. You know, it just occurred to me that there have never been many women in the Grey Wardens. I wonder why that is.
Because there's... It's just a bad time. It's a bad time. You want more women in the Wardens, do you?
Would that be so terrible? Not that I'm some drooling lecher or anything. Please stop looking at me like that. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before?
Nope.
When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started.
But the argument I saw, what was that about?
With the mage. The Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are. Which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar.
That would be awkward.
I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech.
What about the other recruits?
Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them?
Not yet.
Keep an eye out, maybe we'll see one of them.
Look forward to traveling with you.
You do? Huh, that's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Why am I the one leading? Oster approves. +4. Why am I the one leading when I'm the newest recruit? This don't make no sense.
So, any last wishes I can help fulfill before you head into battle? Life is fleeting, you know. That pretty face could be decorating some Darkspawn spear this time tomorrow.
Smooth.
Shall I take that quiet glare as a no? Oh, well, too bad.
I mean, respect for shooting your shot, bro.
Well, you're not what I thought you'd be.
What did you think I'd be?
Not a woman, yet here you are. The name's Davith. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they cooked this ritual up just for our benefit.
What do you know about the ritual?
I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds.
Aren't there barbarians in the forest?
Chasing barbarians, yes. Cannibals, and witches too. My home village isn't far,
Oh my.
and I grew up on tales about the wilds. Even been in there a few times. Scary place.
I doubt they will send us into pointless danger. Hopefully. Maybe.
Then why do the Grey Wardens only recruit folks who can fight? Or are you their first basket weaver? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like we have a choice.
I'll watch your back if you watch mine.
Oh, I'll watch your back.
You're a charmer, I see.
That's me. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
I like Davis. Davis, chill. Quartermaster.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain.
Can't say I have, no.
Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. Oh, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. Oh, I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies?
You know, tracking that girl down.
Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself.
What supplies you got?
Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I
Not
also
one yet,
have some,
thank you.
goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand.
I see. Let me see these other goods.
So long as you keep it quiet.
On the down low, yes. Alright, I've sold my stuff, bought some stuff, and fixed up Alistair's tactics. Just a little bit, because he doesn't have many spaces yet.
Right.
So my tactics get really crazy, then I might just show like my setup. Even though I'm playing on easy, I don't need to set it up, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Welcome, young woman.
Who are you?
I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity.
You speak very strangely. Why is that?
Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
Chantry claims magic is sinful.
Not sinful in and of itself. They claim it leads to sin. And there is a basis for that argument. Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous.
How is someone made tranquil?
Our forehead is branded with magic, which stills our talent and mind. The process is irreversible as far as I am aware.
I feel badly for you.
You do? I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance?
What is enchantment exactly?
It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of magical effects. We create the glow lights, as well as the magic staff or the flaming blade. The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not.
What sort of enchantments are there?
Runes exist that hold the power of the elements that increase strength or swiftness. Almost any spell can be given permanency, given enough skill and lyrium. Naturally, the greater the power required, the more expensive the rune will become to create. True power comes with a price, as we know only too well.
I should go.
Goodbye.
Yeah, they got their, Tranquil get their magic stripped from them. Because they... usually at some point in time.
That course of action is inadvisable.
Showed that they could not handle their magic, or they just did not wish to go through, like life as a mage. Sometimes it is by choice, sometimes it is not. But they get turned into that as a result. Where is... upstairs. Yeah.
In the name of Andraste, I bless you today. May you find favor in the Maker's eyes. So let it be.
Okay, let's talk to Alistair.
Yes?
Tell me a little about yourself, buddy.
As I said, I was trained as a Templar before Duncan recruited me about 6 months ago. The Chantry raised me. And becoming a Templar was a decision made for me a long time ago.
Sounds rough.
Duncan saw I wasn't happy, and figured my training against mages could double for fighting Darkspawn. Now, here I stand, a proud Grey Warden. The Grand Cleric wouldn't have let me go if Duncan never forced the issue. I'll always be grateful to him.
You didn't want to join the Chantry?
It just wasn't for me. I believe in the Maker well enough, but I never wanted to devote my life to the Chantry.
Yeah. You speak fondly of Duncan.
I spent years in that Chantry, hopelessly resigned to my fate. Duncan was the first person who cared what I wanted. He risked a lot of trouble with the Grand Cleric to help me.
Yeah, maybe Duncan thought you'd be useful.
Or maybe he just happens to be a good man.
There were a few other questions for
What
you.
about?
Can you tell me about the joining?
There's not a lot I can tell you. We go and collect Darkspawn blood, and then you'll hear everything.
Surely you can tell me something.
Look, I can't tell you much, alright? The joining is very unpleasant. I wish I could forget it, but I can't. I don't envy what you're going to have to go through.
Well, that's ominous. But what happens in the joining?
You learn why it's secret.
What if I refuse to do the ritual?
The joining is the price we pay, all of us, for being able to defeat the Darkspawn. You can't refuse.
what? I'll be fine.
That's the spirit. If becoming a Grey Warden were easy, we wouldn't recruit the best. You want to ask me about something else?
Sure. Let's talk more about the blight.
Of course.
How did anyone know about this blight?
The Grey Wardens keep watch. We feel the dark spawn when they come. You'll understand after the joining. If you... well, you'll understand. Not to mention people start to notice when darkspawn pour out of the wilds and taint everything around them. Just a guess.
How many darkspawn are out there?
Thousands. Tens of thousands. They've had centuries to build up their numbers.
How do you defeat the blights?
We chop off the snake's head. It's the only way. According to texts, the most famous Grey Warden leader, Garahel, killed the Archdemon Underarl in personal combat at the Battle of Aesley to end the last blight. Without the Archdemon to command them, the Darkspawn flee back underground.
I see. That's all I want to
You
know
want to
about
ask me about something else?
the upcoming battle.
The one tomorrow. I'll tell you, it's Tern Loghain we should be looking to win it, not the king. Kaelin just wants his place in history. The Tern is planning the strategy. That's my opinion, anyway. I guess I should be thankful the king favors us Grey Wardens. But I know who's keeping the lid on the pot.
Don't seem very fond of the king, sir. What is happening here, of all places?
We're at the edge of the Korkari Wilds, the eye of the Blight Storm, right where the Horde will be coming. Ostagar itself is an excellent defensive position. The Wilders were pushed back from here time and again in ancient days.
What are the chances of success?
I'm sure Tern Loghain has the battle planned to the last detail. Still, no Blight has ever been defeated with so little cost.
How much will I be participating?
You know, that's a good question. The other Grey Wardens are riding into battle with the king. I don't know if you'll be with them.
What if we fail?
If we don't break the Horde here, Duncan says it will spread until it engulfs all of Ferelden. Then it will take an alliance of nations to fight it. Which would be bad. Neither the king nor the Tern really seems to believe this is a real blight, however.
So I want to know about that.
You want to ask me about something else?
Yes. Let's talk about the Grey Wardens.
So I imagine. What would you like to know?
Where are all the other Grey Wardens right now?
The others are camped with the king's soldiers in the valley. The king's given us a position of honor at the vanguard, despite our small numbers. I think Kaelin is actually excited to ride into battle with us. Maybe he thinks that's what his father would have done.
So Grey Wardens have the right to recruit just anyone?
King Marek, Kaelin's father, reaffirmed the power the Grey Wardens were given during the Blights. In practice, we can't conscript too often without hurting our cause. We were exiled from Ferelden once. Best not to let that happen again.
That's all I want to know.
You want to ask me about something else?
Tell me more about Duncan.
Duncan is the leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden. Which he would say doesn't mean much, as there aren't many of us here. Yet. Beyond that, he's a good man. A good judge of character. I owe him a lot. What about you? What do you think of him?
Well, he did kind of, you know, force my father to vow to have me become a Grey Warden while he was in the midst of bleeding to death before he would take me to safety. But I'm sure he's a kind of firm man.
Fair enough. He's done the best he can with what little he has. And that includes me, I guess. You want to ask me about something else?
No, I'm good.
Then let's get a move on, shall we?
Alright, Jory's over here.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about.
Yes, I am Audelia.
Sir Jory is my name. I hail from Redcliffe, where I served as knight under the command of Arl Eamon. I was not aware they permitted women to join the Grey Wardens. None of those I've seen thus far have been.
Bruh. Why is everyone? Everything, the first thing. Oh, the woman and the Grey Wardens, oh my goodness. How does this even occur? I can handle myself just fine.
You obviously impressed Duncan, and that's enough for me. I hope we're both lucky enough to eventually join the Wardens. Is it not thrilling to be given that chance?
You're not, curious about joining? Kind of super secrets? In danger?
As am I. Has anyone told you about it?
Davos said we might be going into the wilds.
I never heard of such a ritual. I had no idea there were more tests after getting recruited. I suppose since you're finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you there.
Okay. Bye, Jory.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me?
You haven't been sentenced?
No. They put someone like me in a cage until someone important has time to decide what to do with me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you? All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving.
Tell me why you're in there first.
I'm a deserter, or so they think. I bet there's no arguing them out of it, though. Armies are funny that way.
I bet you're as innocent as the sunrise.
I wasn't deserting. But when you catch someone sneaking around camp in the middle of the night, what else are you gonna think? Does it matter? All I want is a bit of food and water.
If you weren't deserting, why sneak around the camp?
Oh, I would have deserted eventually. Just not then.
Bruh.
I was stealing, not sneaking out of the camp.
Bruh.
I got one of those wizards drunk and took his key. It belongs to a chest they got here, full of magical treasures. In fact, I still have it. I can't use it from here, but I'd trade you for some food and water.
They didn't find the key when you were arrested?
I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak.
Gross. That is disgusting.
And an excellent party trick, I'll bet.
Yeah, well, do you want the key or not?
I'll see what I can do. Just murder him. And take the key. Like, why would no one stop you from doing this? Why?
Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
I will do this baby quest. Or babies.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example.
I think it is very funny that this random guard is also voiced by Steve Valentine, who is also Alistair's voice actor, because you can hear it. You can hear it in there. It's like, bro, you just met Alistair, and you put someone else with the same voice actor like a few feet away. It's amazing. Doing this Bethesda style. Seems... I had a chat with him, actually. You know, that prisoner.
Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation.
He says he wasn't deserting, but all he really wants is some food and water.
Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine.
Yes. So you miss one meal. This man could be hanged soon. Like, I don't know. Tomorrow. When do they do hangings? Isn't that like sunrise? Or is it sundown? I don't know.
All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
Need the poop key. Need the poop key. For sick loot. Here you go.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away.
Here's some food.
Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
Hey, but Alistair likes it that you gave the prisoner food.
You there.
If you have business with the
What's
Ash
your
Warriors,
name?
I suggest you speak to our commander.
It's Pick, sir. Go tell Turnlogane that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
There's so many voice actors with the same voice around here.
What do you need? You haven't brought more instructions from the Ten, I hope.
More instructions.
Turnlogane has changed our scouting route a dozen times. If you're not from the Ten, what do you want? We're busy.
You don't look like the other soldiers in the army.
We aren't. We're Ash Warriors.
Ash Warrior?
Our training has been passed down since Lathias the Dwarf Son first harnessed the battle rage of the dwarves. It is an old tale.
Sick. Can I hear it?
I am no bard, but I will do my best. Lathias was a Clane tribesman. Some said he was too short to be a warrior, but he was strong and fierce. His chieftain sent him to the dwarves of Orzammar to negotiate an alliance, where he fell in love with the king's daughter, Skya, and brought her back to his tribe. She taught Lathias to use the dwarven battle wrath to summon his strength and ignore all pain. Lathias then taught this to the Clane, who made him their chieftain.
Cool. And they feasted on blood and lived happily ever after. Messed up. So you descend from this slave.
They were simply the first to be taught. Others were inspired by his death to follow his path.
How did he die?
Lathias' prowess earned him the love of Morrigannon, a beautiful chieftain of another tribe. When Skya learned of his seduction, she returned to her people. Lathias was grieved. He sent Morrigannon away, but this only vexed her, and began a long war between their tribes.
Morrigannon, you say?
In the end, Lathias slew Morrigannon in single combat. However, his wounds were great, and he perished when the rage ended. The dwarves came from Orzammar that day, and gave Lathias an honored burial in the mountains. And we live by his teachings even today.
Like, what happened to his wife?
It is said that before the final battle, she returned to Lathias and gave him a shirt of dwarven chain, along with a final night of passion. Then she was gone forever. If she lived on in Orzammar, only the dwarven folk could say for certain.
Wow. An interesting legend. Thank you for telling me.
It was an honor.
So what are you preparing for?
To scout the wilds and watch the progression of the Darkspawn horde. With luck, we'll find and slaughter many stragglers. The hunt will be good if my hound survives the blood of his prey. If he dies, I shall mourn tonight.
Aww. Spice blood, what happened?
Darkspawn blood is poisonous, but not always fatal. Those who survive grow immune to its effects. The wardens say that tainted blood drives even the survivors mad eventually. but not today. Today, we hunt and we kill.
Guess I should probably do something about that for my Babari. Why have you painted your dogs?
They use scent to distinguish us from our enemies, but the blood of battle can confuse them. So we paint ourselves with Caddis, which overpowers the blood, and also paint our hounds so they know we are the same.
I should also paint my dog. What if the enemy is painted with Caddis as well, though?
Why? Would you steal our Caddis and give it to the Darkspawn hordes?
Absolutely not.
Good. I hear death is unpleasant.
Alright, I'll be going.
My thanks. There is hunting to be done, and I'll not be kept from it.
Works. So many dorks. So many Mabori. Big Mabor.
Soldiers of Ferelden, my sisters and gentlefolk.
We got some more people to talk
stand here
to.
on the eve of. Let us consider the evil before us. In their pride, the mages of the ancient portal into the heavenly golden city itself.
Hello, Kingsguard.
Greetings. King Caelan is not in his tent right now.
Do you know where it is?
I believe he's with the Grey Wardens in camp, drinking. He holds them in high regard, you know, as his father did.
See, tell me about the king. You must see him a lot.
I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Teyrn Loghain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off.
They are
The
pretty
king
sick.
wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible?
I mean, we'll see.
That's how the Teyrn feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny that Teyrn called him reckless, and they fought about the queen.
I didn't know Caelan was married.
To the Teyrn's daughter, no less. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it.
Okay, I should go.
As you wish.
You find out later. You find out later in the DLC that he super cheated on Loghain's daughter with the Queen of Orlais, I believe. And so he got big mad. But honestly, once you meet Loghain's daughter, you'll understand why. I mean, valid choice. Honestly.
You approach the tent of Teyrn Loghain. State your business.
Is he there? What's he doing?
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities.
I would like to meet this man.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on, then.
Yeah. Bamboozled.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
Not a Grey Warden quite yet, but thank you.
You impressed his majesty nonetheless. He could not contain his excitement over your meeting. Caelan's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden?
Yes, I have heard. That seems to be a fascination you do not share.
The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as Caelan thinks. You look familiar. Have I seen you at the Lands meet?
My father was the Teyrn of Highever, actually.
The king told me of his promise. I'm certain he has every intention of following it through. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you?
I mean, I hope so. Seems like a fun time.
Here for the glory, huh? Fair enough. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort.
You don't seem very fond of him.
He is Marik's son and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
Okay, then. Alrighty. You seem a little salt there, friend. Little salt.
Look carefully, man. This wretched thing is a darkspawn. They're strong and cunning and smart, but don't listen to those old wives' tales. They can be killed. Stick them with your sword enough, and they go down. Their blood is black as sin and poisonous. Don't even touch it. You get tainted with that blood, and you may as well slit your throat. We've lost many dogs already. Had to muzzle them to keep them from biting. It's a long and painful way to die.
I see.
Let's get started.
That whole concern, kind of goes out the window. If you have that persistent Goron, and you bring the rest of your pomies, your party members, into battle with Darkspawn, and they get covered in Darkspawn blood, but no one else magically gets infected by it. Because they have the same, you know, plot armor that the Resident Evil characters
We've won
do.
every battle, but there's more of them each time.
Makes you wonder if them Grey Wardens are right.
I don't want to think about that.
Sounds like the perfect time to get drunk, if you ask me.
Yep.
The all before me is darkness, yet shall the Maker's light be my guide.
Having a rough time, is ya? I mean, who gets put on that detail from the Chantry? It's like, yeah, you're gonna be the ones that go into
My
the
faith
super
sustains
dangerous
me.
battle.
I do not fear me.
Like, do you volunteer? Hello, Elven Messenger.
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed?
No, I just want to talk.
You want to talk to me? I'm not in trouble, am I?
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's a relief. I'm one of the king's servants, which means I run messages around and make deliveries all day long. If you fall behind, you get the switch from the quartermaster. Oh, I wish I were back at the palace. There are far more places to hide. I
You're
better go.
back.
If the quartermaster sees me chatting, he'll think I'm being lazy, and that'll be my hide. But it was nice talking to someone.
This poor man's. Elves sure do have it not so good. I wonder whatever could have happened to put them in this predicament. Maybe one day we will find out.
There are lots of darkspawn, different kinds. We're getting reports of things we've never even heard of.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty common in the Horde, but we've seen others much larger. We don't know where these new darkspawn are coming from, or what they can do. All I can say is to use caution. There aren't any we've seen that won't die once they bleed enough.
Alright, let's go say hey, figure out what this ritual's all about. Progress the story, all that jazz.
You found Alistair, did you? Good. I'll assume you're ready to begin preparations. Assuming, of course, that you're quite finished riling up mages, Alistair.
What can I say? The revered mother ambushed me. The way she wields guilt, they should stick her in the army.
She forced you to sass the mage, did she? We cannot afford to antagonize anyone, Alistair. We don't need to give anyone more ammunition against us.
You're right, Duncan. I apologize.
Now then, since you're all here, we can begin. You four will be heading into the Korcari Wilds to perform 2 tasks. The first is to obtain 3 vials of Darkspawn blood. 1 for each recruit.
What do we need the blood for?
For the joining itself. I'll explain more once you've returned.
Surely you could have gotten some blood before now. I mean, you had time.
Of course. You must work together to collect the components, however. It's as much a part of the joining as what comes after.
Alright, what's task number 2?
There was once a Grey Warden archive in the wilds, abandoned long ago when we could no longer afford to maintain such remote outposts. It has recently come to our attention that some scrolls have been left behind, magically sealed to protect them. Alistair, I want you to retrieve these scrolls if you can.
What kind of scrolls is they?
Old treaties, if you're curious. Promises of support made to the Grey Wardens long ago. They were once considered only formalities. With so many having forgotten their commitments to us, I suspect it may be a good idea to have something to remind them with.
And what if they aren't there?
It's possible the scrolls may have been destroyed or even stolen, though the seal's magic should have protected them. Only a Grey Warden can break such a seal.
I see.
I don't understand. Why leave such things in a ruin if they're so valuable?
It was assumed that we would someday return. A great many things were assumed that have not held true.
Is this part of the joining too?
No, but the effort must be made. I have every confidence you are up to the task.
Alright, how are you supposed to find this archive?
It will be an overgrown ruin by now, but the sealed chest should remain intact. Alistair will guide you to the area you need to search.
Find the archive and 3 vials of blood. Got it.
Watch over your charges, Alistair. Return quickly and safely.
We will.
Then may the Maker watch over your path. I will see you when you return.
Hey, we got a crew. Do the stuff. Do.
Yes?
Let's talk to our homies more. Where are you from, David?
I grew up in a village about a day's trip to the east. Little blot you wouldn't even find on a map. Haven't been back in years. I struck out for the city as soon as I could outrun my pa. I've been in Denerim for what, 6 years now? Never liked it much, but there's more purses there than anywhere else.
So, you're a cut purse.
And a pickpocket, thank you very much. Or was, anyhow. Who'd ever guess I'd end up a Grey Warden?
How'd the Grey Wardens find you?
I found them. I cut Duncan's purse while he was standing in a crowd. He grabs my wrist, but I squirm out and bolt. The old bugger can run, but the garrison caught me first. I'm a wanted man in Denerim, you see, so they were going to string me up right there.
What happened then?
Duncan stopped them, invoked the right of conscription. I gave the garrison the finger while I was walking away. Don't know why Duncan wants someone like me, but he says finesse is important and that I'm fast with a blade. You bet your boots I am. Besides, it beats getting strung up.
So what do you think of Duncan?
All right for an old bugger. He's faster than he looks, too.
What do you think we should do now?
You heard the same speech I did. Blood and old treaties. Off we go into the wilds.
Gotcha. Let's go.
Hey, I'm following you, aren't I?
Indeed you are. Let's talk to Joy.
I am ready.
You were from Redcliffe?
I hail from Redcliffe, but Duncan recruited me in Highover, a city off the northern coast. Have you traveled there?
My father was lord of that town, actually.
My Lady Cousland. I'm honored. I was in Arlayman's retinue when he attended King Marek's funeral. It was in Highover that I met my Helena. I was smitten. She has the most beautiful eyes, my Helena. Now, for years, I found any excuse to return there. We married a year ago. Arlayman gave me leave to serve in Highover, but I was attempting to persuade Helena to come to Redcliffe with me, at least until I was recruited.
Yeah, how did the Grey Wardens find you?
Last month, Duncan visited Highover, and the band held a tournament in his honor. I won the Grand Melee. It was hard to leave my wife. We married only a year ago, and she is heavy with child now. But Ferelden needs my blade, and I shall not falter.
What do you think of Duncan?
He has a seemingly impossible task, with a scarce handful of Grey Wardens, yet he does not complain or flinch from his duty.
Alright, what do you think we should do now?
We need to find those documents and the Darkspawn blood. It should be... interesting.
Alright, let's go.
Indeed.
Hail. I'm told you all have business in the wilds. The gate's open for you. Just be careful out there. Even a Grey Warden won't be safe in the forest tonight.